look, I, like you, draw the line at, if it is time wasting and complete housery. Although, Con, there is part of me that feels the players will get away with as much as the referee
100%.
lets them get away with. And sometimes, once the toothpaste is out of the tube and this throw-in has been allowed this long and this player has gone down, then it gets away from it a little bit. And yeah, you can add a load of stoppage time up on the end, but then that'll all get broken up as well, won't it? So, yeah, I mean, do you want to dive into the debate about head injuries being an automatic stoppage now? Because we've not only have we seen that be utilised by centre backs, but clubs now do it with the keeper as well, don't they? Knowing what can the referee do? The keeper lies on the floor holding his head. What would be your reaction if I said, right, they're going to remove that law, so a head injury isn't an automatic stoppage? What's the percentage of concern we've got for concussion protocol against people abusing the law?
I think I'd really struggle to say to you that I'd get rid of it, because I think it's really important in the game. And if you take your club bias out of it, if someone goes down with a head injury, it's important. I think we've got to a stage in, when it comes to sport in general, when you look at boxing and you look at MMA and you obviously look at football, where you've really got to take care of the football player, and especially when it's something on the head. I think Shearer did a brain scan years ago and he did it on the BBC. It was really, really good documentary.
Oh, with the links to dementia.
Yeah. And it was quite, and they were looking at former footballers, and it was harrowing actually watching it. So I think the game has progressed in a way of which I think it's right. I just don't understand how you mediate against it, Ben. I don't know what you do to, if someone's down, rolling around, clutching their head, or even just down sort of like dazed. I don't know how you decipher between that being something that's not serious and serious, if that makes sense.
I'm spitballing, Con, but doesn't it, if a player, I don't know how you signal it, but maybe it has to be an automatic concussion sub, has to happen or something, and you just have to switch the player. But then that would be open to abuse as well, wouldn't it? Because you could essentially, do that to create an extra substitution for yourself if you particularly wanted to. It's really difficult. It's like people, if you've ever worked in an office, oh my back hurts or whatever, that sort of thing. And it's
they're ringing sick at 3:27 and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. It would be fascinating to know. This is not a Sunderland issue,
but I think it's issue. I think it's interesting what you were talking about there, Ben, when it comes to VAR. And it is just been, it feels, I don't know, maybe it's my Leeds hat that I've got on, but I looked at West Ham last night. I don't know if you quite saw it, but there was a ball that was put into the box. Iwobi's got his arm out. It's a handball every day of the week. West Ham don't get it. And you're just thinking, what's going on here? And obviously, from a Leeds perspective, you had the Matheus Nunes handball. You've had Pascal Strout being dragged down by his neck by Luke O'Nien. And you just think, and obviously you had the Ethan Ampadu penalty, which I would say that was a penalty for Sunderland. But then the conversation is, Ben, is it deliberate? Is it non-deliberate? Ball tap? What is that? And I just think it's been maybe highlighted the last couple of game weeks, but it's just a farce at the minute, isn't it, Ben? And that's not with my Leeds hat on. That's with a general hat on. I don't think anybody really knows the rules. I don't think the referees actually know what handball is anymore. It feels like you can, I think players from like Roy Keane to Paul Scholes have always like marshalled referees and Jamie Carragher, but I think it's got to a level right now where the game in play, the Leeds Sunderland game, the ball was in play for 48 minutes.
Oh, it's awful.
It's just, and at some point, it's like, are you going to get a grip of this game? So there's loads of issues. But are you slightly worried about the officiating in this country at the minute?
I always come from a position of massive empathy for the officials, just because the conversation is normally just completely mental about it. And it's not a credible conversation because it's clubs, it's fans that just want basically every 50-50 decision to be given to their club. And they would genuinely, there are fans, and God bless them, who are so emotionally invested that if every decision got given to their club, they would think that that was the acceptable outcome. Even like a 70-30 against them, that should be given to their club. What I will say is we're at a point where VAR has basically held a mirror up to the laws, hasn't it? Whereas in the past, it was more transient and something egregious would happen and it would be talked about and then you'd move on to the next thing. Whereas now, everything is reviewed and slowed down and lines across the pitch and deliberate, not deliberate. And I think we're going through probably a 10, 15-year process of VAR forcing us to rewrite all the laws. And I suppose the next thing is, and you mentioned, it feels like we're piling in on Sunderland. We're not. These are general VAR points. But you mentioned Luca 9 on Pascal Struijk. I'm sure you can, if you're a Sunderland fan, you can probably now show me 8 replays of Sunderland players being dragged down throughout the season.
It's top down though, isn't it, Ben? It's like Opta Joe put something out earlier on saying Arsenal took 31 minutes to restart play against Brighton last night.
Oh, and Coventry are top of the Championship, and the right back, I think we had 10 minutes on throw-ins in one of the games as well. So what's happened now is that the only area in terms of physicality that you can exploit for a marginal gain is set plays, because they genuinely don't have a clue what to do. But literally, the players are basically saying to the ref, well, if 8 of us all foul each other, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't give four fouls one way and 4 the other. But yeah, they've given themselves a real big issue to solve in terms of the fouls and the writing of the handball and the minutiae of that. And look, with the ball in play issue, I said on the Blue Monday podcast, maybe like 8-10 years ago, we will get to, it'll be 30-minute halves and it'll be a stop clock. It's just how long that'll take us to get to. And maybe for the good of the game, this 10 years or whatever it's going to be that we're living through now, we just lump it, and we need to sort out fouls at corners, and we need to sort out ball in play. All I'll say in deference to this, again, this is not we've gone off on a broad conversation.
It's interesting though, isn't it? I think it's a big topic at the minute. I really do.
But this is not a Sunderland thing. This is an everything thing.
Yeah.
And they have played, and Arsenal and Coventry, as you say, top of those 2 leagues, are playing within the scope of the laws at the moment, aren't they? They're not doing anything that isn't being penalised. But yeah, there is kind of a broader point. But I just do want to circle back and say Sunderland won the game in a way that games are won in 2026 at the top level.